This is the follow-up I promised. Normally I script my videos for weeks, but let's just jump into this one. Here's the layout from Dissecting Stop Killing Games. I opened by offering a way to check my findings with LLMs, following up with the strengths of SKG. Then I showed the 12 points I based the first script on, moving on to cover Stop Killing Games' weaknesses, followed by the 4 developers you'll hear from after this, who agreed where and when they could. Here's what's in this video. Industry bets, ROS demands are impossible, indefinite publisher support, distributing executable files, basing my video on LLMs. Last time I waited to run this, here are some respected developers and their thoughts on Stop Killing Games.
I have all the source code for all the Troika games because we, in the sense in Arcanum and Temple, we own it. We can't give it out. I've already talked about that. I don't own it for the sense of being able to put it out as open source, but I owned it in terms of this is my code. I can reuse it in other games if I want.
He's even been asked to destroy code in the past. Then, the day before recording, David Jaffe and Destin Alighieri had a conversation where Jaffe goes over legality, pricing, technical feasibility, and greed.
We have to keep, God knows how much money in the bank to make sure that if AWS goes offline, we have to be able to afford, even if there's only 1,500 people a month playing the game, not concurrently across the course of a month, that we still have to put out the money for those servers and make sure that it's running. And if new graphics cards become the norm, we have, there's a lot of stuff that this law would force developers to do. And could they do it? Sure, but it would come at the expense of something else. Every day making games is robbing Peter to pay Paul.
David Jaffe is many things. A corporate shell isn't one of them. Up next, Jet Balzac gave his game The Anacrusis to his community.
But we also have art in the game. Art in the game that we purchased. Some of it we purchased at the asset store. Oh no. And some of it we paid people to make. Every company does this. But the license we have with paying for it to be made says, hey, we can't just take that asset and put it up on Fab or some other place to try to just sell it. We can't just make it generally distributed, right? And we honor and respect the artist that created it.
Explaining legal complications using a real-world example.
I do think government regulation is often required to rein in the worst potential business practices that corporations are going to get themselves up to. The reality, however, is that when you have language like working state, when you use words like reasonable, that needs to be clarified into something that is law. And typically, lawyers are involved in that process. And one group that has access to lots and lots of lawyers are the video game publishers.
Mark Dara put out Stop Killing Games, What's Next? He goes through the SKG FAQ point by point. All year, you've been told developers hate Stop Killing Games. Did any of those developers actually say that? No. They agreed. Games preservation matters. This is simple. Fix the problems and you win. That's it. Yeah. They have concerns, but not one of them is against SKG. They are trying really hard to explain. Isn't that what we want, for developers to talk to gamers? What good is that if we ignore what they actually said? Forgive me for being that guy, but I think it bears repeating. They agree. Games preservation matters. It's simple. If we fix the problems, you win. I noticed 2 YouTube notifications when I woke up. Comment 4. Are those sounds from DMC? Nice. However, that's almost the last nice thing, since I disagree with a lot of what this video is really saying. Stop Killing Games is a good thing for gamers. It's only bad for developers if you're running a live service game. Look at Multiverses, a game I put over 600 hours into just for it to get shut down because Warner Bros. Is greedy and fumbled development. SKG would at most have kept the servers up another 6 months, and we would have known the end was near sooner. This, in theory, could hurt small developers, but it genuinely won't. Here's my reply. Hi, yeah, those are the DMC menu selects. Can I ask where I actually said stop killing games is bad? That's not the point of the video. If you're seeing this, thanks. Your comment put everything into perspective. This being the internet, I genuinely mean that. Thank you. You'll find a link to the previous script in the description. Please notice the search function up in the right-hand corner. As you can see, bad isn't even in the script. I used wrong 3 times. Twice, wrong is directed directly at me. Once as part of a video title. That video. Even that video never says gamers are wrong. Here's a comment I got about server support. Comment 1. Ross claims are not impossible, and he doesn't claim games need to run perpetually, just have an end of life cycle, meaning at least informing the customers about end of service and how it will go for their game. The full comment is in the source, but here's what I actually said. I get your anger, but as advertised, stop killing games is impossible. That line is 1 minute and 4 seconds into the video. Here's the one other use of impossible in the video. Some demands are totally and completely doable, others are ungodly expensive, technologically impossible, and or illegal. We can cover the next 2 points at once: indefinite publisher support, distributing executable files. I'm a professional game developer with 5 years of experience working in the industry, and I know how every point here can be fixed. SKG is not asking for indefinite server support. Stop Killing Games is trying to change the law so we could force middleware to change their licenses. Distributing the executable files are not the same as giving away the assets inside the game. My reply is on screen, so you can read it or pause. I'll read the 2 related points. Stop Killing Games is not asking for indefinite server support. You're right, I didn't say they are. I said end-of-life features would need to be updated for the life of the game, meaning a persistent team maintaining legacy systems for years after release. That cost has to go somewhere. History tells us it usually falls on gamers. Distributing executable files is not the same thing as giving away assets. Again, I totally agree, but I didn't say otherwise. And 3. Epic couldn't give out the code because it now runs Fortnite. Code is alive, updated and reused for years. As you heard, what I said was Epic didn't give away the code from a system they're actively using. Otherwise, I agreed with everything, except for wanting to steal from artists. Yes, that's what they actually said. Please check the source doc for their full comment. For argument's sake, let's say my video was based on LLMs. Question: how do 5 months of testing across 3 models keep drawing the same conclusions? LLMs, LawTube, developers, and documentation. Why do they all match? I don't even list LLMs in my 12 initial points. Because dissecting Stop Killing Games isn't based on LLMs. That's an assumption being made in the comments. Here's what I said, but I don't want you to take my word. That's why I created a way for you to check. I came up with 4 neutral prompts. If I'm going to recommend prompts, I had to test them. You don't have to agree, but that LLM section is 1 minute and 54 seconds into a 20-minute video. Or tell me you didn't watch the video without telling me you didn't watch the video. I expect and welcome disagreement. You've now seen the script and clips. Did I make any of these claims? YouTube is the #1 source for gaming news. How does fact-checking hurt gaming or Stop Killing Games? One last comment for context. Comment 4. Burger menu, not interested, don't recommend channel. And my reply: you shouldn't watch channels you don't want to see, even if that channel happens to be mine. I can't be mad at that. Thankfully, I'm done making videos like this. Either way, take care and have a good one. Riddle me this. If I'm anti-Stop Killing Games, why am I being so respectful? Why would I agree with everything? I'm not interested in rebuttals, dunks, or told you so, because none of that is helping. But I get it. You don't trust me. because I used LLMs, or because I don't have a decade in AAA. Haven't I shown my work, linked the scripts, never said Stop Killing Games is bad? Not once said devs have all the answers. Here's my concern. The industry will make much stronger arguments than mine. Pushing Stop Killing Games without addressing its fault won't end in celebration. It ends after years in court. The industry will drop dev bombs I've never seen. They'll attack based on technical and legal grounds, digging up every arcane law and tactic they know, with lawyers, documentation, and facts deeper than most of us ever see. Whoever faces down that phalanx of lawyers needs to be well equipped. If not, Stop Killing Games won't grow. It'll collapse under the weight of everything we ignore. And when the dust settles, preservation will be defanged, and gamers still lose. To save games, we need to address the weaknesses of SKG. Could I twist my data to support Stop Killing Games? Absolutely not. I can promise you two things. I am never going to lie to you. I'm also never gonna lie for you either, because for the love of games.
The world must be free of bugs.
Originally, I wanted to call my channel Banana Damaged. I settled on debug mode, as in debugging gaming discourse, by listening to developers, to lawyers, to gamers. These topics matter, and you clearly care. If you want me to dig my heels in, I want to know I'm on solid ground. I'm not anti-SKG. This is about making the strongest argument possible. I want better games. Our rage isn't enough to win. If we're going to push SKG, we need to do everything in our power to make it work. So, do you want to win? If you do, it's time to go to work.